Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mana Inspiration by me, Node Endurance. Now, we're going to start off like we always do with the scripture. Our scripture today is James 4:14, which states, "Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time, then vanishes." I also have another scripture, which is in Psalms 90, verse 12. And it goes off of, I think, and it states, "So teach us to number our days, that we may get a heart of wisdom." On that note, it makes me think of kind of what I experienced throughout this week. Um, so I had a friend, just to kind of go off of his, how much time do we have left? To kind of give you a title. And it made me think of that because this week, Thursday, is my birthday. I turned 36, you know. Um, I every year I go over a reflection of, what did I do? How can I become better? You know, this year's a little different, especially having a friend back when I first started the church and I joined the church. He joined with me at that same time. It's been 5, 6 years now. I used to seeing him every Sunday. He's one of the greeters. His name is Tony Zimmerman, but he will be greatly missed because he passed away this weekend due to COVID. Now, with this, I it's really heartbreaking because as I go to the reflection, it made me think of how much time do we have left, you know? And then the next question I think comes to play is, what are we doing with our time? Now, first off, just some quick facts is, we have 24 hours in a day. They always says that, everybody has the same 24 hours. The successful, the non-successful, it all depends on what you're doing with your 24 hours, which makes the difference. That's why I strive every day to try to increase by that 1%. So at least at the end of the day, you're not feeling like you haven't accomplished anything. You haven't did anything worthwhile to feel happy about. Always strive to do that 1%, so that way you can strive to be better than you were yesterday. Um, Another thing I heard, I went to a seminar one time and they said, what if you had 86,000 $400, and what would you do with it? And they're basically stating, kind of leading to that equals the time you have in seconds in one day. In those 24 hours, we have 86,400 seconds. When you break it down to that, it makes it seem a little bit more stretched. I like to say when you break things down to chunking, like as Tony Robbins says, it begins to make things smaller. You know, um, 24 hours sounds pretty large, but as you break down to 86,400 minutes, it makes it seem like you have almost an eternity in a day. This is where now we can step up and grow to that, I would say, that bigger level that we want to get to. You know, I guess that saying nowadays is level up. You know, that means get yourself to a bigger status, the next level. There's that saying from Tony Robbins, and it says, you want to set the bar, then you want to raise your standards. Set the bar, raise your standards. I think on that continuous development, you keep growing up that ladder slowly, slowly. You're able to get to what you really want, really. Here's a quote I've seen, and it says, change your 24 hours and you will change your life. I 100% agree with that. I think if you change the direction of where your 24 hours is going, what you're doing with it, where you're putting that time, are you serving, you know, it makes a tremendous amount of difference in your day, which adds up to your weeks, which adds up to your months, which adds up to the year. Now, like I said, if you're doing it slowly but surely, this is where you're going to develop that 1% growth. So, how much time do you really have? Are you putting that 100% into everything? Now, here's a quote from Steve Jobs, and it says, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." That really made a really impact when I first heard that quote, is because I was doing something that I wasn't happy. I was working for somebody else, which was somebody else's dream. There's that saying, and how does it go? If you don't chase your dream or go after your dream, you'll end up working for somebody else's dream. I think everybody deserves what what they are gifted to do, what they are gifted to have. It's up to us whether or not. I think it's there. We just have to pull it down and take it. Take it into consideration on how much it means to you. Now, I heard this, and it was from E.T., and it says, "You owe it to the people who sacrifice for you." There's a lot of people that sacrifice for me. As I think of it, it makes me fight even harder to want to bring more joy, more growth to those people that sacrifice for me. That way, you really are concentrating on what exactly you're doing. You're focused, your tunnel vision. They say the horse has blinders, so that way they only see what direction they're headed in, and that's forward. I think we should develop our, spiritual blinders, our focus blinders. That way, we're basically not getting sidetracked. We're able to run that race clear minded, straight within your 24 hours. By the end, you're feeling happy. You're feeling like you accomplished something. You're feeling happy about either helping, being there for somebody else, or just making a difference. Now, when it came down to the change, there's always saying ask more intelligent questions and how to change your 24 hours. Now, I got a couple questions that I asked myself. You could probably ask yourself, which first one is, what are you investing your time into? Now, I was investing my time into television, to TV shows, the things that's just wasting my time. I developed a thing to where I only want to watch TV maybe 1 to 2 hours at the end of the night, and by the end of the day, I'm not able to because I push myself that much to work out, go to work, come home, eat dinner, and then that way you're able to feel good. And like I said, half the time I don't even make it to the 2 hours. I'm already passed out. And that's because I'm pushing myself every day that 1% more, 1% more. Now, how do you really want to live? Ask yourself, what do you really want to do? Are you happy? Are you living somebody else's dream? Are you doing what you want to do? That's what I asked myself, and that's why I started changing. I think we're always change. What is that? The most consistent thing in life is change. So I think that's, if we get prepared for it, and we're always prepared for change, when change happens, it doesn't affect us. It's like preamping your negative. If you know that negative is coming, you can preamp yourself. That way, when it hits, it's not going to be as hard. It's not going to be as detrimental to your spirit, your mind, your situation, you know? Now, another question is, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself into? Where do you see yourself doing? What do you want to do? What are you meant to do? With this 24 hours, that's what it's getting me thinking is, how much can you do in that? There's a lot of people that just nonstop and work. The one person I think about all the time is my, basically, the guy I look up to is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He's always moving. You always see people, they surround themselves with success. Kevin Hart. They're always staying into something. I believe if you're not staying productive, then you start sliding back down the hill instead of climbing up it. Now, to that, how do we get started? I think put 1 hour a day, put it aside. If you can't do the full hour in one day, I think everybody has time driving to work. If you live right around the corner from your work, I plan something around when you wake up. I say do what I was taught on the 5 a.m. club from Robin Sharma. It's a 20-20-20 rule. 20 minutes of workout, 20 minutes of gratitude, 20 minutes of reflection. That way, and then 20 minutes of learning. Basically, sorry, the reflection and gratitude of that same, but 20 minutes of learning. I believe if you break it down into those steps throughout the day, you can accomplish an hour a day. Easy, no problem. What did Arnold say? The only reason you haven't put it because it's not important enough for you to put it first. So make it important. Make what you're doing important. Make it a vision for yourself to grow, to get better. Now, on that note, I do want to thank the veterans because throughout this weekend, that's what we were doing. We're thanking the veterans throughout everything. Salute to troops. And I want to do one salute to my father, Louis Dorrance. I do thank you for your service and thank you for everything you did. Now, there's a saying that a lot of these veterans, and I kept hearing, and it kind of reminds me of how much time do you have and what are you doing with it? And there's the saying that they say, all gave some gave all. And I think, what are you going to give your all to? These men sacrificed something to a greater cause for us and our freedom. For me to do something simple as this, I think for somebody as simple as walking down the street and not having to worry about anything, they sacrificed their lives to do that. They gave their all for it. What is your mission? What are you going to do? What do you want to do for the rest of your life that's going to bring you happiness, fulfillment, joy, help spread a value to others? Now, I do want to end it on that, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. For anybody that needs this, I share it because I only feel that if somebody else can understand, if I can help them, maybe we can turn the tides, turn the tables, be able to step on that ladder of success, change your life around. Again, I salute to the troops. I love you guys. Aloha. You guys have a blessed week. And again, like the channel, subscribe, share it with others. Feel free to share it on your page. I only do this because I want to relate to others and I want others to know that you're not alone. But I love you guys. Have a blessed week. Aloha.